Hey everyone, so with E3 in full swing, or just recently finishing, depending on when this video comes out, I was thinking of looking back, looking at my top 10 favorite video games. Now, of course, this is all opinion based, so obviously mine isn't gonna look the same as yours. And so yeah, I obviously may not agree with everything, may not even like a single game that I like, but it's all in good fun. It was a video I wanted to do, so let's get started. Oh, and disclaimer, I grew up a Nintendo Xbox guy, so even though PlayStation has some great games that I've seen and maybe touched a few, I'm going for more games that I've played, that I put time into, not a game that I've seen someone play and just like, it was a really good game. Like, I love some PlayStation games, but I'm going for more games I play. But anyway, alright, so let's get started. Number 10, Left 4 Dead. Now, this is an old classic. I think this is well renowned. Like, people love this game. I remember being little on the 360 playing this. Playing it alone was just horrifying, especially when you hear the witches cry. And then I would just turn it off. Yeah, I couldn't do it alone. But I started having friends. Playing this game with friends was just so fun. And Left 4 Dead is not your ordinary zombie game either. The way you have to move, you and your friends, from safe zone to safe zone, just fighting hordes and hordes of zombies, it's thrilling every time. And they keep it fresh with all the special zombies they add in, like, I don't even remember the names, but the Smoker, Hunter, Tank? But all that aside, when the next one drops, or that game that's made, whatever game is made by them, then you know we're gonna have to try it out. Number 9, Halo 4. Who doesn't love Master Chief? Like, come on, he's just pure badassery. I grew up on Halo, started with Halo 2, another game I played pretty young. Tried to do the story of it, until I met the Flood, and then, yeah, would have to turn it off. Don't worry, it's not gonna be for every game. But the reason I pick Halo 4 is it's just a visually stunning game, and that story I played co-op with my brother the entire time. It was such a great experience. I don't even know if it was the best Halo game story-wise, but I just know playing the co-op was so fun. And then, when I started having friends, the multiplayer on that was just so good as well. And just so many great memories on Halo. So it's earned itself this spot. Man, I love Halo. Number 8 is Mortal Kombat. Well, in this case, Mortal Kombat 9, because this was the first Mortal Kombat game I've played, and this was the reboot. So they had a bunch of games before this, 8 others, I guess. I started with Mortal Kombat 9, and then I got X and 11 right after, just to follow the story. I'm not even good at the game. Now, with Mortal Kombat, on the surface, it just looks like your typical gory fighting game, right? But once you start getting into the lore and characters, then it's a lot deeper than you think. Mortal Kombat has built a great foundation with great characters and just an overall great universe it lives in. It's not without its flaws. Mortal Kombat is one of those games, that I wasn't supposed to have at the age I had it. But having it at that age was so fun. And I'm sure everyone's had games like that. I mostly play Mortal Kombat for the story, because in fighting, it looked like this. But above all else, it is an iconic franchise. And whether you're good at the game, bad at the game, in it for the story, in it just for the fights, you would always love to hear that one word. Fatality. Number 7, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Who doesn't love Smash? I mean, well, if you've never played it, then I guess you wouldn't. But it's the case with any game. It has all these iconic franchises, and they just keep adding more and more. Even back then, when I had a GameCube and I had Melee, I can't even remember, but I just remember having fun on the game. And then, I never had a Wii, but when Brawl came out, I would go to my neighbor's house all the time to play it. It was just It was so fun. And then now that I have a Switch and having Ultimate, it's been great, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. It really is the true ultimate fighting game. Number 6, NIER Automata. Automata? Still never learned how to properly say it. Oh my gosh. This game, it's crazy because this is the only game on the, well, you know, other than a multiplayer game, this is the only game on the list where I haven't finished it yet, because I just started playing it, but I instantly fell in love with it. Like, this game has just been great. I'm so glad I started playing it, and it's actually on the channel, so well, you know, if you really want to check out me experiencing NIER for the first time, you can check it out in the channel, you know, go look at my channel, see the NIER stuff I played, and okay. But anyway, NIER's been great from the combat, the story already. I'm only one ending in. I don't know how many there are, but I know there's more than one since I finished the first one. And when NIER, I haven't looked into too many stuff because I don't want to get spoiled, but oh man, after what I've heard and after what I've already seen, I already know I'll be left stunned in awe when I finish. It was so great, just the fighting, the story, you could see the development already, and the music. I'm pretty sure I have one of its OSTs is my background song for this video, so NIER's been great, and I could definitely see it rising up the ranks of this list. Number 5, Web of Shadows. Now this is my all-time favorite Spider-Man game. Yep, I know, but I just loved, oh my god, when I had this for the 360, I remember I couldn't find the game. I don't know where I was going to look for this game. All I know is that I could not find it. But when I finally got my hands on it, I just kept playing it. And this game is one of the few games I think I've played the entire story more than once. Like, I think I've played it a couple times, and I can't say that with a game that doesn't have multiple endings like that. And I just love the dark element in a Spider-Man game. It's not your average Spider-Man game either. I just love the atmosphere of it, the ambiance, and the swinging is great, and it's just so different in a Spider-Man game, and I love it. Imagine a Spider-Man game in the apocalypse, basically. That's what this game felt like. And just, you could choose your own ending, whether to fall into the symbiote's brainwashing or, you know, be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all know. But Spider-Man's my favorite hero. Web of Shadows is my favorite Spider-Man game. And I will defend this game until the day I die. Number 4, Overwatch. Now, I do have a few videos of me and my friends playing Overwatch on the channel. And overall, I think Overwatch is a very well-made game. I know it has its problems, but what game doesn't? And with Overwatch, when it came out, it was something fresh. Love the art style, it was so well-made. Overwatch has probably my most hours spent on a game, because I've played it for years now, and it's just so fun. The characters are fun to use, and then we get into competitive play. I remember grinding so hard just to reach Diamond, even helped a few of my friends get to Diamond. But yeah, and this game falls into one of those games that gets ruined by its fan base. Not as fans, more like the toxic players that play it. Every multiplayer game has those groups. And then just the pure rage that could come with this game.
Maybe if you had 30,000, we would have won.
Yeah, no, do not blame fucking Caden. Because if anything, the fucking healers were not doing their fucking job.
But still, nonetheless, it has my most hours on the game, so... And I like the characters. I can't wait for Overwatch 2 to see what they do with that. And yeah, when Overwatch 2 comes out, I see myself putting even more hours into Overwatch. Number 3, Pokemon. Yep, I'm one of those guys that grew up on Pokemon, started on Leaf Green, and had every single one since. Okay, so it's a favorite video games list, so I have to pick one of the Pokemon games. And even though I started on Leaf Green, I don't really remember it. And I had, you know, Silver, Platinum, all the colors. But my most recent memory of actually like understanding what Pokemon even was and not just run around catching and battling, I guess would have to be Black and White 2 or X and Y. Those is when I started to understand what Pokemon really was. And yeah, you could say it's too easy, but the thing people love about Pokemon, even to this day, is just the diehard fans. They have all these lovable creatures. It has the collecting aspect. Like, if you like collecting stuff, if you like collecting in general, this is a great game. It has a great battling mechanic too. There's like, it could be very simple, but it could also be very strategic, and that's why Pokemon is so great. It's a big franchise for a reason, and people just love Pokemon, and I'm one of those people. And whenever a new Pokemon game comes out, you already know I'll be one of many that has it. Number 2, Telltale's The Walking Dead. Now, if I had to pick one of the Walking Dead games, I guess it'd have to be the first one. It's the one that started it all. The emotions that came with this game, it was just so good. Yeah, it's had its moments, but anyone that's played The Walking Dead can't say they haven't loved it. They had great characters. My big 3 of them is Lee, Clementine, and Kenny. I just loved all of them. The development, it's great. I love The Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead is one of those games that just hooks you whenever you get invested. You start feeling for these characters, you know, until some of them, most of them, but that's The Walking Dead for you, man. Every important decision that comes up will just leave you there thinking, and especially the ones that have you timed, you don't really have a chance to think. It's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And then you'll regret your decision afterward, no matter what. Just following the narrative of what goes on in this game is so engaging and so deep. I think it wrapped up pretty nicely. There is some questions still left unanswered, I feel, but overall I just love The Walking Dead. And by the end of it all, no matter what you choose, you'll be left shocked. Number 1, Fire Emblem Awakening. Any of these games could have been number 1, any of them. But I think I have to look at a lot of different factors here. It's a lot of factors that go into making a list. I love Fire Emblem, I just do. Even though I didn't grow up on Fire Emblem, so I'm not gonna say that. I started Fire Emblem when I was able to understand games. When I was at the age I was able to understand games. And that started with Awakening. And after I got Awakening, I fell in love with Fire Emblem. You know, and I wish I grew up on Fire Emblem so I could have seen the older titles and had some from my GameCube and see some of the other big names in Fire Emblem like Marth, Roy, and Ike, my favorite Fire Emblem character, even though I haven't played his games. Don't question it. But I started with Awakening, and I've gotten every Fire Emblem since. Whenever the next one comes out, I'll be one of the first ones to get it. In all the ones I've played, it had strong storytelling. Like, the characters were so compelling, and like, you could have your group of favorites and just use those the entire time. Hell, you could pick 3 people and use those well, you know, unless you're in harder difficulties. But this is one of those games. You know how I talked about Web of Shadows, replaying it? I haven't really replayed a lot of the games here, you know, the story ones, the single player ones. But Fire Emblem, I can't tell you the amount of times I've replayed Awakening alone, and that's for every Fire Emblem game I've played. And the reason why I could replay it so much is because no playthrough is the same. Yeah, the stories are the same, but the way the characters are will never be the same every time you play. Because by the end of the game, even if you played it 30 times, by the end, every playthrough will be so different from each other just by where the characters are. Like, the story will be the same, but where your characters are, how strong they are, their relationships, it will never, unless you make it the same, but the skills, the class, the relationship of those characters will never be the same in any playthrough. Or at least it could be. And I've played Awakening so much that it had to be number 1 on my list. And so anyway, that's my top 10 favorites. Definitely could change. I love all those games so heartily, so much nostalgia there. But it could change, like some spots could get moved around. It's not a perfect list, but it's my list, you know? But let me know. Let me know if you agreed with anything I had to say, or let me know your own favorite games. I'd love to hear your favorite games. Let me know down in the comments, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.